Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, children of all ages, this is the greatest time of the day. From the center of the universe, New York City, it's the main event you've been waiting for. It's time to go in the cage with Cyclone.
And hello. Happy New Year's, belated New Year's, whatever. We're in 2019. Holy Moses, I've survived another year. Who would have guessed? Of course, obviously by now everybody knows about the passing of Mean Gene Oakland, who wasn't mean. He was actually the nicest person on the planet. And I literally mean that. There was nobody nice. I've met the guy umpteen freaking times. And yes, umpteen is actually a number. But I'm telling you, there was nobody nice. And he actually got the nickname Mean Gene from Jesse the Body Ventura. Trivia question. Trivia answer. Now you know. Because that's what I do. I help make you people know stuff. Anyways, it's great to be back. I want to thank the PFL for credentialing, however you say that word. Credentialing. I quit. They let me cover everything. Okay, so I want to really thank them. Lots of great interviews. They're slowly and surely getting edited. I hope to have them up by 2020, you know. Lots of great fights there. Kayla Harrison winning again. She put me in my place during 2 different interviews I did with her. She shamed me. She X'd me out twice. Oh, my girl, Kayla, geez. I do want to once again tell everybody, check out effectivegression.com right here. Glove signed by the man, the voice of the Octagon, Bruce Buffer. It'll be up soon. Keep checking them out. You know what? If you know anybody that you care about, or even someone you don't care about, but you want to get them something, effectivegression.com. Plenty of stuff to choose from, I'm telling you. Want to remind everybody, click share on this, pretty please. I need to get lots more views so I could start bragging around this joint. You know what I'm saying? Check out Psyche Prods on Facebook. Click like. Enter one of my mini raffles. Yeah, that's about it. I want to just give a little bit of a tease. Got a special guest coming in just a few minutes. Going to be sitting right here. She's a doll. She's Chrissy Yandolli. Right here. She's going to be sitting right here. Right after this.
This is Frank Edgar.
This is the Barbarian Tim Bosch.
I'm World Series of Fighting undefeated lightweight champion Justin Gaethje.
MMA legend, UFC Hall of Famer, Iceman. Check it out. If you got the guts, step in the cage with Cyclone.
We're back. I told you she'd be here. Thank you so much for coming, Chrissy. I really, really appreciate it.
Thank you for having me.
Okay, so right off the bat, I gotta ask you, are you the type of fighter that just fights, and when you're not fighting, not prepping for a fight, you're just, I don't want to know it, I don't talk to me about it, I don't watch it, no.
I don't really watch it. I'm not gonna lie. Unless someone I know is fighting, I don't really follow UFC that much. I know a few of the fighters, but I'm not that big into it. If I don't train with them or know someone that trains with them, I probably don't watch at all. But when it comes to training, it doesn't matter. I just came off an injury, so I wasn't training for a while, and then I started training, and a week into training, I was like, okay, we're fighting. And I keep going. I take like 2 days off after a fight.
Okay, well, that's what you call in this business shocking that first question's now. Boom. I was going to ask, I might as well ask anyways, why not? I was going to ask you what you thought about the female GOAT situation, about Amanda Nunes now taking over for Cyborg. And because I don't know if you know, Amanda said that Cyborg now has to wait 2 years to get a rematch. And that's, I think, really ballsy.
Yeah, I don't know why. I mean, if you're a fighter and that's what you do, I don't know why you're going to make somebody wait 2 years. I mean, I don't mean to be a Cyborg. I don't know if she's going to be fighting in 2 years. You know, like 2 years is a long time in a fighter's career. So that's a lot. That's a long time.
Especially for, I mean, look, Cyborg's like a beast for so long.
Yeah, I think she deserves like an immediate rematch with that.
Thank you. That's it. I was going for. Okay, so when you decided you wanted to start mixing it up, and you let everybody know, how did your parents take it?
When I first started fighting, I think they thought I was kidding.
Really?
Honestly, they were like, okay, yeah, okay, have fun. And then I was like, no, I'm fighting. And they're like, oh, all right. And I mean, I'm just kind of that person that's just like, I'm going to do this next week, okay? So I started training, when I first started training, we won't even discuss how many years ago, kickboxing. I took my first fight 4 weeks after I stepped into the gym.
So it wasn't like, no, you're my child, you're not going to get punched and kneed and elbowed in the face.
No.
Well,
I was a little feisty one, so they knew I was going to do it anyway.
So what drew you to kickboxing right at the start?
I actually never really even knew about it. I went to a local show with a friend who had a friend of a friend fighting, and I sat in the crowd and I was like, this is the coolest thing I've ever seen. So I looked on the program, found a gym that was on the program that had a fighter in it, walked in the next day and was like, hi, I want to fight. I think they thought I was nuts too.
And that was at Long Island MMA?
No, that was actually at a different gym. That was a long time ago. And it was a gym in Deer Park. I don't even know if it's still around. And then as I started getting more serious, because that was just really a hobby when I first started, my MMA and kickboxing career didn't get serious until I went to Long Island MMA.
There's a couple of guys there that
We got a few.
So the transition from kickboxing to MMA,
Yes.
and I actually talked to Tom Sconzo about this a couple of weeks ago. A lot of MMA fighters have serious issues crossing over. For some strange reason, I mean, it's sort of on like one hand, like Israel Adesanya, Joanna Jędrzejczyk, Valentina Shevchenko. Those crossed over with no problem. But a lot of other kickboxers seem to
have an issue. I get that, especially with females. I feel like because a lot of males through high school and in middle school or whatever, they do a lot of wrestling. Where girls not, especially maybe my generation of girls, really didn't. Now I think there's a new girls wrestling club popping up all the time, which I think is amazing. But when I was younger in school, like, girls didn't wrestle. So the wrestling aspect of it was definitely confusing, and it's still not one of my best traits. But with all the jiu-jitsu, I mean, especially if you're a good striker and you're good with your hips and you're like maybe not so much a boxer, but a kickboxer that is good with their legs and they're good with their hips, I think once they get a good training program with jiu-jitsu, that it's an easier transition for them. I don't think the other way around, though.
Really?
I think it's harder for jiu-jitsu to become a good striker. Like if that's only your background.
You know, now that I think about it, that's actually pretty accurate.
If you look at, I'm not going to name names because, you know, I'm not that person, but if you look at some of the women, even men, that were amazing jiu-jitsu people, you know, they just amazing black belts, and that's what they did, and that's what they did, and then they went into MMA world maybe having limited striking. Their striking always looks a little robotic and not very fluid, where I feel like the strikers jump into the jiu-jitsu a little bit more fluidly.
That's spot on. That's good call on your part. So when it comes to walkout music, is there one go-to for you, or are you spreading it out?
There's usually one go-to. I like to laugh. I don't like to be serious. Yes, I'm a pro, but this is my hobby. I do have a full-time job. I just love it. I absolutely love fighting. I love everything about it. And even if I could never fight again, I would still train and spar and do strength and do all of that. So I like to have fun. Probably one of my favorite songs to come out to is Fancy by Iggy Azalea. It makes me laugh. It makes everybody else laugh. I like to fight in skirts. I think it's funny. So no one ever thinks I'm a fighter. When I tell people, they kind of like, they grill me for a little bit. They think I'm lying, I think, half the time. They think I do cardio kickboxing, and no one believes me. So when I come out for a fight, I like people to underestimate me a little.
That could be used to an advantage, though, right?
Yeah, it could be.
Is there anything that you don't like about combat sports?
I guess not about the sport so much, maybe about the culture that has come around it a little bit. I feel like sometimes with all the trash talking, it kind of turns into the WWE, when I feel like we're all pretty, like, and I get it, it makes it exciting and it sells shows and it sells tickets, so I understand that aspect of it. But sometimes at the end of the day, like, we're all martial artists and we all know what it takes to get to whatever level you're at. So trash talking an opponent, like, before a match, like, I find it just a little too disrespectful for the sport that we're in.
It's funny how you say it like that, because me just dealing with the PFL last week, that's what every single fighter, and Kayla Harrison was asked because Amanda was fighting Cyborg. And one of the other reporters asked Kayla, you know, they're going to settle who's the female GOAT. She picks up the mic, and Kayla's normally of your mindset of no trash talking, no, you know, and a two-time Olympic gold medalist in judo. She's above trash talk. She picks up the mic and she pulls a rock move and she goes, "You're looking at the female GOAT right here."
Well, that's not really trash talk. I don't find that trash talking. That is good for her. Give yourself some publicity. I think that was great. She did it in a way that she didn't really say anything negative about anybody else. She was just saying something positive about her. So I don't disagree with that. I kind of like that. Good for her.
Now, you stay at strawweight, right?
I'm actually, I fight anywhere between because kickboxing is a little different, so I fight anywhere between 118 and 125.
Because I was going to say
125 is like hot. Like, I'm not even 125 now.
Because I was going to say, it seems the trend in not only in MMA but in boxing as well, that fighters across the board are now starting to, no disrespect, but as someone on the outside, as a reporter, we're always scratching our heads why fighters want to kill themselves to go down. And now a lot of them are starting to realize,
It's not worth it.
right, and maybe fight closer to walk
Yeah.
around weight. Me being the total gentleman that I am, I'm not going to ask that. But
I cut weight once. One time I took a 115 fight. And my favorite weight to fight at would probably be 120, but it's more of a catch weight like fight than an actual weight class. Because that's like just I'm losing a little bit, not too much. I cut down to 115. I actually don't even think I made 115. I got to 115.8. And it was the worst experience of my life.
on the polar opposite end of that, would you even consider like a 135?
I have done it in the past, especially when I first started fighting. I kind of just took any fight I could get. Right now, I don't think I would take a 135 fight just because that's way, like right now I'm fighting in 2 weeks or 3 weeks and I'm struggling to keep 121. So, and I have to like kind of bulk up a little bit to get that 125. So for me to fight at 135 when a lot of these girls are cutting from 148, 150, and if it's day before weigh-in, they're going to get back and like they're just, it's just like me fighting a guy at that point. It's just way off.
Now, being that you said, use the term fighting a guy, being a female fighter, there's no good way. You know, when you write these questions down, they sound a lot better when you're about to open up your mouth because you're going to get kicked in the face, I'm telling you. Okay. Thank God these chairs have wheels because I'm going
scoot
back
real fast.
Does being a female fighter now okay, cutting weight, it takes a toll on the body, it takes a mental toll, you know, winning and losing. Does it take a toll socially as well?
Yes. 100%.
Yeah.
It definitely does. There's a million different types of people out there. So you either get people that are totally cool with it, and that's great, and they're super supportive, and they're cool with it. Maybe they have another hobby that they do, so it kind of balances out. And then you get some people who think they're supportive of it until they realize what goes into an actual fight, like the time in the gym, the meal prepping, all that stuff. And then when that time comes, they don't really like it anymore. And then you get the people that absolutely 100% do not support you for many reasons. You can just make one up and like they'll use it. A lot of times I find, especially with some guys like that I've dated, it's a lot of insecurity. When a girl is fighting, no matter if she's the main event or not, she's pretty much one of the spotlight fights on the card just because there's not as many of us, you know,
Right.
as there are male fighters. So we tend to get more publicity, whether it's a local show or a bigger show. I mean, how many times has there been a Paige fight where she's not the co-main event? You know, there's actually four other guys in the main event and the co-main event, but she's going to get most of the publicity because she's a female fighter and she's actually exciting to watch. And, you know, she's good, so they're going to talk about the Paige fight. It has nothing to do with who the main card really is. So I feel like a lot of people don't like that attention, I guess, on their girlfriend. And then some people just don't like it because it's manly and not ladylike. Yeah, that people, they still exist.
Really?
Yeah.
I have to, truth be told, I wasn't always this sexy, all right? I wasn't this Greek of a god of a body. You know, I was a lot worse at one point. I used to be a bouncer at a strip club, Wiggles in Regal Park, before Giuliani closed it for some illegal activities that never really happened. And one of my friends was like, dude, you're around strippers all day and all night. What's up? I'm like, listen, at one point you look, you think stripper, yeah, okay, fine. But then when you're dealing with them all the time, regular people. And I think fighters is the same thing.
I really wouldn't call us regular people.
No, because look, or
We're all a little off.
no, because like looking from the outside, yes, female fighter, great. I constantly joke that Heather Hardy and Kayla Harrison are both my girlfriends.
Those are two good girlfriends to have.
Right. and there is absolutely no, they would beat the piss out of you. I'm like, yeah, I know that. So would half of America. So I haven't. And look, it would never. I can say, I don't know about other guys, but me at this point in my life, I couldn't care less. As a matter of fact, I would prefer dating like a fighter just because I don't have to deal with the bullshit.
Not a lot of people feel that way. Trust me, I'm single, so it's like it's just a vicious cycle.
Do you have any concerns coming off of such a long layoff now?
Not really. It's kind of like riding a bike. At first, when I got in the ring and started moving around, I felt that. I guess they call it ring rust. I definitely felt it. I felt slow. I don't know if that was mental or I was. I probably was. There's probably a little bit of both. I probably wasn't as bad as I thought I was. But just like anything else, like great training and just keep going, like it comes back. Like it's just like if you didn't ride a bike for 3 years and you got on your bike one day, yeah, you might have like a little wobble, but once you get like into the groove, you're good to go.
Now, out of all your coaches there at Long Island MMA, is there one that's more of a taskmaster type?
Meaning?
More rough on you, as opposed to being more laid back? If
I don't think anyone there is really laid back as far as training, like coaching goes. Right now, I've mostly been working with Rob Labiento. He's a strength coach at Long Island Strength and Performance, but it's in the same gym. And as far as striking, I've been working with Ryan LaFleur for this particular fight. Neither one of them are super, I mean, they're not laid back, but when it comes to their fighters, like they're on you. All the fighters, like they're on them, you know, correcting them, making them work harder. You're doing sprints after this. In between rounds, you're doing this. You're not just resting. You know, like when it comes to the fighters out of that gym, I mean, they're not really easy on anybody. But when it comes to the fighters, like especially not.
See, Ryan should know better. Ryan should let, you know, I'm not saying, you know, you go
Ryan's
play.
a workaholic, though, when he's training. When he wants everyone to train just like he trains. And he's...
Look, I'm not saying go off between sets and play like PlayStation 4 or something, but, you know, a little break here and there, Ryan.
He takes fighting seriously. So he wants everyone that's going to fight to take it seriously also. Like I said, he's not mean about it, but he definitely, you know, cracks the whip.
Are you the type of fighter that likes to do like tons of research on her opponent before?
No.
Second question. I was gonna say, how much have you watched on her?
I haven't watched anything. I actually do know her. She was actually at one of my MMA fights, I believe, and I met her afterwards. We took a picture together. I didn't realize she was a fighter at the time. You know how, well, I don't know if anyone's ever fought after a fight and after like a good win, like it's just like you don't really know who you meet. And we took a picture together, we became Facebook friends. I saw that she was a fighter. I was like, oh, cool. Like, you know, I love being friends with other girl fighters. And you know, we've just stayed in contact on Facebook, you know, throughout the years or whatever. And when Bobby said he got that matchup, he was like, all right, you want to fight? You know, I got Lisa, Blaine, blah, blah, blah. And I was like, okay. I know she's good. I know she's been in Bellator twice. I believe she's undefeated. But everyone fights different opponents differently. So the way she fought the last two girls doesn't mean that's the way she's going to fight me.
Now, being that you, I'm not going to say best buds, but at least an acquaintance level, does that make it any different going into it? As
It
opposed
might
to
for people, like I get that, and it might for certain people. There's only a handful of girls that I would probably never fight just because I'm friends with them. Everybody else, I wouldn't care. I don't think of it, I don't go into fights mad at people or angry at people and wanting to hurt people. It is just a sport. It's just like I would play a soccer game against her. You know what I mean? Like, and I'm still going to shoot. If she's playing goal and I'm playing forward, I'm still going to shoot on her. You know, I'm not going to take it easy. And I hope she's not going to take it easy on me and let one go. Like, it's not like that. For me, fights is like, I always try to tell this to like my friends because they don't understand a lot of the time. My fights to me are like my dance recitals. My friends and my family and whoever else wants to show up gets to see what I've been working on like the whole time that I haven't been talking to them. So for me, it's not personal. Fighting's not personal. Some people I know, like some people have to hate the person they're fighting, and I don't ever really hate. I mean, there's one person maybe I didn't like her because she was like trash talking me to my dad like before the fight. So that was about it. And that's the only ever like person ever. I couldn't even tell you her name. It was like a 36-second fight.
So there's no like. Not only am I going to kick your ass, but I'm going to claw your eyes out at the same time.
Not for me. I mean, I can't speak for every fighter. And I don't feel like Lisa's that way either, because we've been like joking with each other on Facebook, you know, and like going back and forth, like, see you at the weigh-ins. Like she messaged me, like, I don't feel like she's that way either. I'm certainly not that way. And like I said, it's a sport. We both love to do it. We might as well do it against each other.
Now, is there something that okay, Colby Covington loves playing heads-up poker. Chad Mendez is a hunter. Is there something away from where once you get away from the cage, away from the ring, away from all the BS that you have to deal with, that you could just lay back and relax and just enjoy like time away from the cage?
See, you're gonna think I'm crazy. So, fighting is what fighting is for me. I have a full-time job, so I manage a hair salon, and that's a crazy job. I love my job, but it's a lot. We're a big salon. I deal with a lot of hairdressers. I deal with customer service, like the public. Fighting for me, that's hunting for me. Training is my hunting. That's like my away from it all. This is what I get to pick to do in my spare time.
I like it. So it's reversed. I like that.
Yeah, I'm like the opposite. Like that's like I'm having a bad day. Some people go hunting. Some people go bowling, do yoga, whatever it is they do. I'm going to go to the gym. I will leave work early because I hate them to go to the gym and feel better and like get my stress out.
I actually like. She's spot on. I got to do the plug first. Oh my God. July.
I wish it was July.
January 27th
Yes.
at Mulcahy's in Wantagh.
It's right by the train station.
Guys, Mike Byrne, Larry Lutz, Larry Gould, you guys are out here on the island. January 27th, I know you got nothing to do.
It's a Sunday.
Okay. And besides which, you guys can't claim you're working. You can't claim you're watching a card because there's no cards going on, except for this one. Okay. Plus, I know you guys like to drink like fish, so.
Yeah, it's the best place. It's one of my favorite places to fight.
Is it?
Like locally.
Now I've been there to partake in some beverages at a time or two. Although the Islanders in the day made me drink. How is the setup there?
It's not what you would think. Most people think that the stage the ring would be on the stage, but it's actually not. The stage is in between one of the bar areas. So, and it's high enough up that everyone can see. So you can just be hanging out at the bar, watching the fights, like literally right in front of you. There's VIP sections that have tables and wait staff. Bobby does a really amazing job with like setting up Mulcahy's like the atmosphere of the fight. And actually on the stage they have other, I guess, like ringside seats technically, like, you know, more expensive seats on the stage so they can kind of like look into the ring. It's a really cool setup. It's actually a really fun night because a lot of people usually, especially for those local shows, they go to see their friends fight and that's pretty much it. So they have that front bar, like when you first walk in. If someone if the person you know is not fighting, that bar's open. You can hang out there. I'm pretty sure they have all the fights like on the TVs, so you can just sit there and watch if you want. It's actually like they do a really good job. It's a good place to have a local fight. Good job, guys.
Guys. When it comes down to fighting, and I've asked this of everybody I've interviewed.
Okay.
Is there a concern about... Might as well just come out. Is there a concern about CTE at all?
About the what?
About concussion syndrome?
Of course. I mean, when I was amateur, not so much because we wore headgear. In MMA, you take your headgear off because you really can't do amateur MMA in headgear. It's super awkward. There's always that concern, but you know what? I can get a concussion in training if I like take a fall the wrong way or accidentally get hit. Like,
see, Ryan, you're gonna concuss this beautiful. What are you doing, Ryan? Really? You know, in the same group. I know Bermudez is. He's a devil coach too, isn't he?
No, he pushes you.
What are you doing, bro?
They don't punch me in the head. I don't have to worry about them too much. I sometimes mostly have to worry about myself. I'm a little bit clumsy, so yeah, like I'll be that person that's running, not paying attention, and like I'll run into like one of the wave bags or something. Like I'm more concerned about me than I am so about the people that I train with. None of them are out. None of us are out to hurt each other in the gym. I was training with Jenny Nadell the other day at Longo and Weidman. I actually went through the cage door all by myself. Like, we just closed it. We didn't lock it. I forgot it was there. Literally backwards went through the door. Like, it's me. It's real. I don't have to worry about anybody else. Like, I'm my own worst enemy sometimes. It was pretty hilarious.
Ray, lock the freaking doors, Ray.
He wasn't there. It was my fault. I didn't lock it. It was a good one. I was like,
It
oh!
was his. It was his. That's I get it. You know, you don't want the friends to know Ray Longo's and Metzer are trying, to injure you.
Never.
I get it. You know, when I see you, Matt.
He wasn't there either. In all their defenses, it was like a girls' sparring day, and came in, just closed it real quick. It was half my fault because I'm used to fighting in a ring lately, so I was trying to use the ropes to my advantage, but there was none. It's a cage. And I just totally messed up the whole thing.
Do you find there's a difference between...
100%. I would personally never do kickboxing in a cage if I didn't have to. Training is one thing, but as far as actually fighting kickboxing and just stand up in a cage, for a fighter like me anyway, I like to use the ropes to my advantage, I feel like is a disadvantage. Just like when I was doing MMA, I would never really, you take a fight whenever you get a fight and who cares where it is. But if I had to choose as an MMA fighter, I would always want the cage. Because it's for me, that's something you're using. You can't use the ropes in an MMA fight. Like the way you would use the cage.
Yeah.
And you can't use the cage the way you would use ropes. Sometimes you use those to bounce back off of and get your momentum moving a little faster. It doesn't happen off a cage. You kind of just get stuck there. Trust me.
Oh, God. No.
So, yes, I feel like there's a huge difference.
Guys, January 27th, Mulcahy's in Wantagh. The doll, go see her. And I have the number. Oh, duh, right here. You're going to call
love
for
it.
tickets.
You can just inbox me. Don't worry about Bobby. I'm kidding.
I was going to give him McKay's number. 516-783-7500. That's 516-783-7500. Guys, you're not doing anything. Go see
You might as well come, have some fun, have some drinks, watch some girls kick each other. There's some dudes fighting too. They're pretty good. You know, it'll be a good night all in all.
Not better than you, though.
No, that's why I'm last. You know, save the best for last.
Guys, I want to thank her, and we are going to take a quick break, and we'll start the shing-ding up right after this.
Hi, I'm Jim Miller.
This is Dan Merigliotta.
I'm Derek Brunson.
I'm Nick the Carney Lentz, and you're locked into the cage with Cyclone.
How cool was that? How amazingly cool was that? Jeez. Guys, seriously, you gotta go. Come on. Also, by the way, share this. You're watching it, just click like this. Click share. It's that simple. Check out effectiveaggression.com. Check out Psyche Prods on Facebook. CYCIEPRODZ on Facebook. Give my page a like too. I'd appreciate it. Lots of big stories going on. Where do we start? We could continue with this Amanda Cyborg mess. Look, Cyborg undefeated for a decade. 10 years, no losses, just tearing right through everybody. Look, Amanda's a beast. Look, she is the GOAT now, hands down. She retired Ronda. She retired Misha. She's put holes in everybody's faces. Now, personally, I think the UFC needs to get out of the 145 business because honestly, they never gave a damn. They never cared about it. If you go to the UFC website, there was nothing there. It was blank space for female featherweights. They never respected it. If I'm Cyborg, she's a free agent. What I do if I'm her, go and sign with Bellator. Go and sign with... I don't think she wants to do Invicta and go backwards. Go to one championship. I wouldn't do Ryzen either. That's a waste of an organization too. But that's what I think Cyborg needs to do. I do want to say that UFC 235 is getting a lot of heat right now. And listen, here's the deal. The Nevada State Athletic Commission, if you guys don't know, have Dana White and the UFC like this, right by the Cajonis. You know what I'm saying? They have them. The Nevada State Athletic Commission has the mighty UFC by the gonads, by the family jewels. Here's why I say that. In one swell swoop, the NSAC can wipe out the UFC's top 3 fighters. They haven't heard Conor McGregor and Khabib's case yet. And now they have to hear Jon Jones's case. Conor, Khabib. Oh, look where Jon Jones lands. They can very easily wipe away, for a long time, the UFC's top guns. I'm sure they are still pissed that Dana decided to move 232 to LA last second. They could have just moved John and Gus there. They could have done like a pre-show with music. They could have done a pre-show with comedy. They could have done a pre-show with anything. Had the rest of the card in Vegas. And it would have not screwed up every fighter, every person that bought tickets to Vegas. They ruin people's plans. Vegas, I'm telling you, Vegas is going to have their revenge. And for 235 to be in Vegas, now to be headlined by Jon Jones and Anthony Smith, and don't get me started on whether Anthony Smith deserves this or not, because I really don't think that he does, honestly. I think Corey Anderson is more deserving of a title shot right now. But Anthony Smith is the type that is a bigger draw. So the bigger draw gets the prize. And that's why Tyron Woodley is now fighting Kamaru Usman. Colby, they screwed Colby. They screwed Colby really, really bad on this. I don't know. They missed it. The UFC, and nothing against WME IMG, but they have gone off the rails. They have gone from an MMA organization to an entertainment organization. And you can't run a sports team, a sports franchise. You can't run a sport like entertainment. They're two entirely different things. They messed up. They messed up. They gotta, as Dana always says, pump the brakes a little bit. Having an interim title means nothing. Rankings mean absolutely nothing. USADA's become a shallow shell of what they once were. This is an organization that took out Lance Armstrong, took out Barry Bonds, Sammy Sosa, Mark McGuire. USADA knocked them all out, one at a time. And now they're bending over backwards for a certain man by the name of Jon Jones. I want to remind everybody really fast, coming up after me, pinups, cool cats, and comics. The segue is back because I'm back. They're coming up next, so you guys are going to stay right here on Strong Island Television, and you're going to watch them too, and you're going to share their show too. Comprende? You know what we're going to do now? We're going to take our last break right now.
I'm Dennis Bermudez. Hi, I'm a creepy Ian McCall. Yo, I'm Kelvin Gastelum.
This is Mark Goldberg. Yo, I'm the world's most dangerous man, Hall of Famer Ken Shamrock, and you're getting tapped out in the cage with Cyclone.
Happy anniversary, happy anniversary, happy anniversary, happy anniversary.
That's right, people. On this day in MMA history, no events. But there is a couple of people celebrating birthdays today. So, happy 39th birthday to Maurice Jackson. Wow, Maurice is 39? Holy smokes. I remember when he first started. Thiago Santos, who's red freaking hot right now and should be challenging for a title within 2019. He's now 35. Caitlin Neal is 28. Wow. Caitlin Neal is 28? Jeez. Time's flying by. Ramazan Ramazanov is 53. A Russian legend. And going from the world of NHL to MMA, Donald Brashear, one of the biggest badasses ever in the NHL. Not so much in the cage. Donald Brashear turns 48. I remember when Brashear was with the Flyers. Oh, the fight's a couple miles away at the Coliseum. Woo! Now, you know what? Let's do a raffle right now. You like that? I like that video clip. That's why I had it made up. Okay, guys. 2 questions get answered. 1 person wins a prize. So, the first question that's getting answered is numero 4, Rudy Asher. Your question: what male and female will win the Royal Rumbles? Now look, the Royal Rumbles are in Arizona? Yeah, in Arizona. Also, that last Sunday in January. Who do I like in the Rumbles? I like Kofi Kingston to win the male Royal Rumble, because I don't think they're going to climb the Rollins and the Baylor and the Hardy. I don't think those mountains are worth climbing anymore. So I like Kofi Kingston to win it. And as far as the women are concerned, not even a doubt in my mind. Put money in the bank. Put your money on this. This is an easy bet for me to pick a winner. I'm going with the upset galore. Sonya Deville to win the female Royal Rumble. Rudy, I'm telling you, put money on it. And if you lose, don't come crying to me either. So that's question number 1. The second question that's going to be answered is numero 2. Marty Huggins, your question: which does the UFC need more right now? Conor Diaz 3 or Conor Khabib 2? I don't want either one of those fights for Conor. I think Conor needs to fight a James Vick, a Dustin Poirier. I like one of those two. Poirier or James Vick first. Then do the trilogy with Nate. Then do the rematch with Khabib. Work your way back up the mount. Because look, quite frankly, he's 2-2 in his last 4. And honestly, as I take a swig because I am parched, here's the thing about Conor. If you guys don't know, I'll be breaking this news to you. Conor McGregor just said he wants to fight a exhibition fight with Tenshin Nakasawa. Really? Now we're going to copy Floyd Mayweather and that joke? If you also don't know, John Kavanagh said that Conor McGregor is no longer welcome at SBG Ireland. And this is a place that Conor's trained since he was 16 years old. Unless Conor gives a good solid reason on why he wants to fight and who he wants to fight. He doesn't want some circus match. John Kavanagh wants a serious fight for Conor. So that's who he should fight. Either James Vick or Dustin Poirier. But to answer your question, between Nate or Khabib, go with Nate because at least you got a fighting chance against him. Anyways, the winner is going to be, that's heads, Rudy Asher. Congratulations, sir. You win a prize. And it will be coming to you soon. I want to remind everybody, keep sending in questions and keep sending in questions and you can enter. Now, listen, no more videos for the UFC because I don't want to get them all taken down. I don't want my show taken down. I don't want to get in trouble with YouTube and Facebook and the UFC. But here is a finish for you guys. It happened in American Combat Alliance 6 this past weekend. Okay? In Shreveport, Louisiana, where Jonathan King broke Chris Williams' leg. But it wasn't just a broken leg. Take a look at the finish of the weekend.
Tonight, as there was not one early.
That's it. It's done. Oh my goodness.
Medical.
Obviously, they're going to get medical attention in there right now.
Jeez Louise. That was Anderson Silva, Chris Weidman all over again. Oh, God. And look, I didn't want to extend the video because I didn't want to get in trouble with anybody. But obviously the medics came right in and took him out. But geez, man, Jonathan King, man, my heart goes out to you. Now, next week I will be back. And guess what? We got another guest coming in. Another guest next week. I'm on a roll. Speaking of rolls, I'm kind of hungry. So I think I'm going to leave and go get a roll with some cream cheese on it because I'm Jewish and that's what we put on everything. Guys, until next week, I am Cyclone saying, just because you are not an athlete doesn't mean you can't be an athletic supporter. Bye-bye.